Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and we're going to be talking about Lilo and Stitch because by the time that our next Nerd Chat comes out, it will be out. Um, are we going to go see it? Probably not released a week. But yeah. Um, but I thought we would at least talk about it, especially since it's coming. We might as well talk about like things that we would like to see, things that are things that we found based on the trailers look good, things that look bad, so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, so where should we start with this movie?
How about with Stitch?
Fair. Um, I think they've slow I feel like there was an image when the movie first came out and we are just like he looks just no. But like after the trailers we were like, "Oh, he's kind of cute actually."
I think they did a lot of work on Stitch. There was an
Yeah.
original Stitch that was like, oh shit, hell nah.
Yeah. Like to be fair, there was a lot of like fake Stitch art that had been like floating around.
That's
Um
also true.
so it wasn't like really clear what was going
And
to
a lot of
be.
that shit is hell nah.
Yeah, a lot of them were all hell nah. And I think that was kind of the whole. That was probably one of the biggest struggles is that getting Stitch right because he has to be cute and he has to be fluffy. Um, and I think that's where a lot of their budget probably went into just trying to just making Stitch look as cute and fluffy as possible. Um,
Cute and fluffy!
yep. Most of the other aliens that we've seen in the trailers, um, they don't look as good in my personal opinion. Um, but I think it's interesting that they have that it seems like they specifically hid them quite a bit. Like the screens are clearly darker, um, and all that jazz. Let's see any area where they show up, it's darker. And the one time where we see Pleakley and Jumba is like for a brief moment, and I'm like part of me is wondering if that might actually be the reason that they're not doing they're not putting Pleakley in a dress and Jumba in his Hawaiian outfit. Um, I don't know.
I wish they would, man. That was so good.
Yeah, it was. And we were just talking about it, obviously, where the it looks it's so sad that they're not going to be looking like like their standard selves. Even if it's ugly, like I think I'd rather that than having them put on like human disguises that are actually accurate, because like kind of the thing about them throughout the entire series was that pretty much everyone knows they're aliens, but they don't say anything because of the fact that they're like, oh, the big whoop, no one's surprised. Um, yeah. People are just like, oh yeah, that's whatever. Like I saw one thing with like they might not be as bad as I think they are as it looks like they're gonna be, but we'll see. Um, it's gonna be very interesting to say the least to see exactly how they're going to handle them. Um, but yeah, I liked them, and I think like another factor with it is that with the human disguises and Pleakley not wearing a dress, um, I think that they might be changing certain aspects of Pleakley, um, because Pleakley is clearly
Queer.
LGBT at least somewhere on there. Um,
We call that queer.
yeah, very queer. Thank you. Um, and uh, uh, it's especially like talked about in the show where Bleakley doesn't feel something about them has always felt a little bit off, and so on and so forth. There's a lot to it, and we're not gonna get into every single thing right now, but. And like you could, if you want to watch the show, absolutely watch it. Watch the original show. Watch the original movie. Watch the original. Just all of the original. It was great. I missed the original stuff. But yeah. Also, how do you feel about the ice cream dude no longer being a tourist? At least that's what people are saying. Is that he's no longer a tourist? He's a native Hawaiian, is what people think he is.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough footage of him to decide if he's local or not.
Yeah.
Also, they changed him so he's not ice cream guy. He's snow cone dude, and I'm a little pissed about that.
Well, I mean, he often had like either a snow cone or an ice cream. I think in the series,
it was always an ice cream. It was always vanilla ice cream. Or at least it was white ice cream.
Let me see here. Ice cream guy. Lilo and Stitch. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a mint ice cream.
Oh, that's right. It's mint chocolate chip.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, yeah. The he had the ice cream all the fucking time, and he would just like show up randomly.
He was kind of like the my leg guy in SpongeBob.
Kind of, yeah. But and I don't think did he ever have a line even?
No.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Just the face and some sunglasses and a really bad farmer's tan.
Yeah. And I think that it's worth noting that like people think that say that he's a native Hawaiian, and honestly, maybe, but at the same time he could still be a tourist. I think that the fact that he is on the beach, kind of really seems to be going out for it. It's like, to me, that kind of screams that he could still be a tourist. And I think that no matter what happens, he's probably not going to have a single line.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. I don't know. So I don't.
Line.
I think that a lot of people. Yeah, I think that a lot of people should. I think wait until the movie is out before you like pass judgment on that, because I don't think he's gonna be. I think he's still gonna be a tourist.
I would agree.
So
he almost has to be. That's part of the joke. That's like the whole joke.
Yeah.
Is that there's this tourist who sees everything that's happening and is like, "What in the genuine fuck?"
Yeah, he just freezes and just like, what? The fuck?
And for whatever reason, gravity then decides to take its toll on his ice cream cone.
Yeah. Or I think one time the a plane I think it was the spaceship, its wing actually clipped it, I think.
That's right.
I think it's like only one time throughout the entire series, whether it be and I think it was just in the first movie. I could be wrong about that.
I think it was just in the first movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's in everything. I think he's in all three movies. Or sorry, all four movies. Sorry, and he is also in freaking whatchamadiddle.
The original series.
Yeah, the series. So he's in a lot of things. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think I'm curious to see what exactly they're gonna do. I think from what I've seen, it looks like they are still trying to have the characters be, or the story be mostly the same. I think that they're probably gonna make some changes for sure, because they always do. So, but I'm hoping that it's not much, and any changes that happen are gonna be minor. I have a feeling that they're probably gonna sequel bait us though. which the
Oh,
original
I would
movie,
almost guarantee it.
yeah. I think that they are most likely gonna, yeah, just due to the how much they're promoting this thing. I think that they will most likely do a sequel bait at the end of the movie. Um,
I
whether
mean, not that the original didn't.
I mean, true. The original didn't. Well, yeah, the
The
original,
original totally did.
yeah. Um, but I feel like one thing that they might do is they might show like Jumba comes into the house and like he's on maybe he and Pleakley move into the house and um the one of the last things that he does is he takes the pod that holds all of the experiments out of his bag and sets it down and then throws a blanket over it.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
That would be extremely good. Granted though, technically the second movie wasn't that. It wasn't Lilo and Stitch the movie. It was Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch.
That's
So,
true.
so they might do that, they might not. I don't think that they will. Stitch Has a Glitch, I don't know how many people know about it because I feel like it's forgotten a lot of times.
I would almost consider the fact that they're going to pull in Mufasa here and just make a completely different movie to go along with it.
They might. They absolutely might. Um because we never in the original series there were a lot of experiments, but they never did all 625 or 627. No,
Yeah,
628. Sorry, 628. 628 was never shown. 627 was it was captured, and then there was like a whole bunch of like just random experiments that we saw throughout the entire series. But I don't think we saw even close to all 628. I think maybe we
yeah,
saw.
I don't think so.
I think we maybe saw like 100 throughout the entirety of the series. Um, maybe, well, no, it had to have been more because the show was longer than 100 episodes. Let's see here. Go to uh, Disney Plus. That's what I want to check. Let's see here.
Not
Disney.
sponsored.
No, no, we are not. I just want to check to see what how many episodes. Really quick. Lilo. No wait, just Stitch, because that was the the fuck. Oh, they have the trailer for the live action on the yeah. So yeah, so season 1 had 39 episodes, and season 2 had 25/6 because Link was technically not part of the series. That was that was like an extra thing that was added on to Leroy and Stitch. And granted, so that's like what for 75. So yeah, 75 total episodes if we include Link. Um so granted, several episodes did have multiple experiments show up. Such as like a few of the second season episodes were technically 2 experiments. Not all of them, but just like a few of them were. And Miss Hasagawa had like a whole. I think she had like 20 experiments all to herself. So they did show quite a few of them.
That's true.
So I don't think that it's necessarily that they just didn't have enough time to go over all of them. And in the in Leroy and Stitch, they actually they did confirm all 620. No, they just confirmed 627, I think. Of the experiments names and what I don't think they revealed their powers. But yeah, so Leroy and Stitch, yeah, that went all the way through that did six all the way to 626, and then it had Leroy at the end. I think it did show 627 after Stitch, but I don't know if it. I'm not 100% certain if it did. So.
I can't remember all the details.
Yeah, fair. It's been a while, to say the least. But all of the experiments had names. So I think the creators knew all of the different experiments that they wanted to do, but it was just like Disney was like, okay, while we love the show, it's kind of been slowly dying, and mostly because of the fact that like they didn't publicize the show that well. I don't know. There were some things about it that were just like, they could have done this better. But yeah. So yeah, Lilo and Stitch the movie, or Lilo and Stitch the series, that had like a whole, they did a whole bunch of them. But yeah. So they might do something with so yeah, like I said, I think that they will probably mostly focus on the story of Lilo and Stitch, the original movie. They might hint at certain things, such as Stitch the movie and Stitch Has a Glitch. I would like to see them actually hint towards frickin' Hamsterville. So yeah,
Fair.
that would be so much fun to like maybe at the end so maybe Jumba like hints towards the experiments in right at the end. He pulls that out as they're like moving into the repaired house. He pulls that out of his the pod out of his bag, puts it down, and covers it with a blanket. Or maybe he just takes it out of his bag and it still has the blanket on it. But like all of the fans know, there it is. And then maybe like an after credit scene or a mid credit scene, we see Gantu, and he's like on his he's just escaped. Maybe he's just escaped from jail or whatever, and he meets Hamsterville. Veal. That would be freaking amazing. Granted, Stitch Has a Glitch was kind of that its own thing because it didn't really involve like anything on in terms of the rest of the extra universe. So we're probably so if they do Stitch Has a Glitch at all, then it would probably be something pretty minor. Like at most, if they're gonna hint towards Stitch Has a Glitch, maybe Stitch will glitch briefly, near the at just some random point near the end of the movie. And it's like a really minor one, and like only like the really strong fans will be like, "Oh, there it is." But I think if they're going to do a sequel, they're probably just gonna jump right to Stitch the movie. So
yeah, that would make sense.
That would make the most sense, especially with Stitch. Stitch Has a Glitch was real, as far as I'm aware. It was nowhere near as popular as the rest.
It was a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, so that's another thing. And also it was technically the third movie because Stitch the movie came out in 2003. Lilo and Stitch came out in 2002. Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, was in 2005. So the series was already going. And Leroy and Stitch would just come out in a little bit later. So Yeah. Um, I don't know. I feel like it would. One thing that I will say though, I don't think that they're going to do a series. Primarily because Lilo, the actress who plays Lilo, is so young that she's probably going to look older throughout the movie. As the movie is going on, she's probably going to keep looking older and older, and because kids age very fast at that age,
True.
so they're probably going to be doing something. They're probably going to try their best, but I don't. I'm not holding my breath. So if they're going to do a sequel, they have to do it quickly, and they might just skip all the way to Leroy and Stitch and not do they might not do the series at all because, like I said, she's gonna age fast. Unless they decide that Leroy and Stitch is going to be like years later, and Lilo is going to be like a teenage, like a full blown teenager or an adult by that point.
That would be interesting.
It would be interesting. I don't think they're gonna do it though. Let me make it clear though. I'm not gonna hope that they do a sequel. Honestly, if they just do this one movie, I'll be perfectly fine. I'm honestly not even certain if they're going to if they're going to do anything more than this because it's so iffy, and they really need to stop with the live action remakes.
Agreed. Although I have liked a bunch of them.
Yeah, like some of them are good. Some of it really depends on who is involved with it. Like I'll say it now, and I will continue to say it. I'm not gonna watch frickin' Snow White, probably ever. Mostly because of the fact that the actress, and pretty much the entire team that worked on it, basically just kept shit talking the original, and that makes me not want to see it at all because I don't see them actually doing it justice.
That's funny because Mama Bear said she really liked it, and I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, just like maybe it's okay.
She was like, She was like, "Kellen, you haven't even seen it," and I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, I think the thing about it that makes me not want to watch it at all is the fact that they throughout the entire production they kept shit talking the original. Like I don't. Yes, there are certain complicated issues with the with older Disney movies, but the fact that
I really didn't think that Snow White was one of them. It really doesn't portray anybody.
No,
Because a dwarf is a mythical creature.
yeah,
It's not talking about actual people with dwarfism, and
yeah,
everyone in their right mind knows that. And so,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
It's just it's so bizarre, and like I think the interesting thing about it is like if you look at like a lot what a lot of the actors the dwarfism actors said is that they were not in agreement. A lot of them were not in agreement with frickin' why am I forgetting his name?
Peter Dinklage?
Yes, Peter Dinklage. Thank you. A lot of them were not in agreement with Peter Dinklage. They were like, "Shut up, let us have our jobs," because yeah. They were like, we want to be if they're going to do a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, we want to be in it. We want to be able to be our character. We want to be dwarves. We want to be able to actually get jobs, because even if it's not necessary, like, so what if it or I don't know. I don't know the exact wordings they use, but they were not happy. They wanted to be able to. A lot of them wanted to get more jobs. And that's the simple fact. Like this movie would have been like the perfect place for a lot of different jobs for the dwarfism community, and they really didn't do that. And yeah, my biggest problem, like I said, is that they kept shit talking the original movie for so long, and it was just, I don't know. Maybe if they had recast Snow White after that, and maybe gotten an entirely different team, then I might be a little bit more on board with it, because especially all of the things that she was saying about it just really pissed me off. Like, you don't have to like the original Snow White, but
Unless you're playing Snow White.
yeah, but at the same time,
I'm sorry. If you're playing Snow White and you don't like the original Snow White, why are you playing Snow White?
Exactly. Like even like maybe if you like the original
What are you
story,
even doing? Make it make sense.
yeah. Like if you enjoyed the original story, then maybe I could understand that. But at the same time, it's like clearly that's not the case. She's just shit talking the original movie, and it's just no. I'm sorry. I don't care what you think. But you're wrong. It's one factor is that of course this is where Disney started. Like, you better do a fucking, if you're gonna remake it, then do it well. And
Exactly.
because it is the movie that started Disney, and that's what it should be about. It should be a celebration of Disney as a whole, not whatever the fuck it was. It was whatever the fuck it is. It's a cash grab. It is that is exactly what it is, and like, and that's I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of the live action stuff, is that many of them are basically just cash grabs. This one, I would say, looks like they actually have a lot of love for the original Lilo and Stitch, and they're trying their hardest to make it something that is that the fans will love. Um, Especially with the statement from the director, because I think he did say it relatively recently that he did try to get Pleakley in a dress, but
he did say that.
So, and honestly, that would have been. I think that. I think that the fact that he said that tells me for sure that he loved the original. He loved the series. He loved all of the movies, and I think that he wanted to make sure that it was as good as possible. And I think that that's the important thing. There was another one where they were clearly, they loved the original and they wanted to do it. They tried so
Beauty
hard
and
to
the
do it.
Beast.
Beauty and the Beast was good, yeah. I had a teacher who hated it because of the fact that they used autotune. But like,
Oh, was it Fergie?
huh? No, this was
Was
like
it Fergie?
this was after that. Um, this was like in college, so
Oh, okay.
different teacher, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was great. Um, I think the news that I think the best thing about that is that they showed how much they loved the movie, and they added to it. They tried their hardest not to remove a single thing, and just add to it, improve it in little ways, and I love it. I think that both are great. I love both. In terms of a good series that was, I don't even consider Maleficent a remake, though. I think that it's a retelling for sure.
It's a retelling. It's a retelling from a different perspective.
Yeah, and it's a very different movie, and I think that was also one of the best ones. I haven't seen Maleficent 2 yet.
I like Cruella for that reason too.
Huh?
I like Cruella for that reason too.
I need to watch that too. I haven't gotten around to that yet.
It's good. It's good.
I also liked Cinderella. I know that not everyone did, but I think that was a decent one.
I haven't seen any of the live action Cinderella.
Yeah. But I think another thing that is kind of interesting. I haven't seen uh Little Mermaid either, but I also heard that that was like really bad. So I don't know. I'm not certain though. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that just like shocked me when it came to when Snow White came when the announcement of Snow White coming out, I was like, wait, didn't that already come out? Didn't they already make a Snow
Mhm.
or a Little Mermaid live action remake? But no, it was like a different company, but it just happened to have come out right around the same time that that they started doing this. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it was like I said, it was a different company, but it's kind of it was an interesting aspect, and I still want to see that other Little Mermaid, just to say that I've seen it, but I don't know. I think live action live action remakes are such a weird thing. Remakes in general are a weird and complicated situation because especially for movies, there's very few movies that don't still hold up, um, even in the modern times. Especially when it comes to Disney movies, most of those still hold up pretty well, I would say. What do you think?
I would say most Disney movies still hold up pretty well.
Yeah. Um, I will say Sorcerer's Apprentice. If you saw that, right?
Of course.
That's not a remake, but like it kind of is in that same category of live action remake. I think that that is what they really should have got. Instead of doing these live action remakes, they should have done something kind of like that, where they with a lot more different movie. Instead of it being, here's a remake. Here is, oh, this is a basic idea of that is connected to something else that we've done, but we're doing a complete retelling, or something like that. I think that would have made more sense if they decided to do that rather than trying to basically just being money grabs. Um,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think that that would have been their best option. And obviously Maleficent kind of did that, but it was also a different situation. Um, so I don't know. There's a lot of different aspects to it, and it's just they are. I don't think that they're learning. I don't think. I think they kind of go back and forth on so many things, and I think that it's dangerous, and it's gonna get. Sometimes it's gonna be bad. Sometimes it's really gonna be really really bad, and sometimes it'll be decent. Um, and I think that Lilo and Stitch has the potential to be good. Um, but I also think that there's a decent chance that it's gonna be really shit. So I don't know.
Also a possibility.
That is, yeah, it's such a big possibility. Um, I don't know, but will we eventually watch it? Possibly. Um, but it's probably gonna be a bit. It's probably gonna be a while before we actually go and see it, whether that be in theaters or um, in our own homes when it comes to Disney Plus. So I don't know. It's hard to say, and I think that's I think I'm gonna go. I am gonna see it. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in theaters, but I think that's the important thing to know to take from this is that I do want to see this Lilo and Stitch. Whether that be, I don't think it's. I'm gonna watch it in theaters primarily because there's a lot going on right now, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't have the energy to deal with that on top of everything. So yeah. And besides, there's even more stuff coming out soon. Like what's coming out? Something's coming out in June, I think. Something big. Besides, obviously the besides the Switch 2, which speaking of, that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll probably talk about that. We'll probably talk about our pre-thoughts before that comes out. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. June. Not really anything is popping. Elio, that's what it is. Elio's coming out in June, which I know you're going to be going to. You're probably going to go see that.
Oh, 100%.
So, and then in July we get the new Jurassic World, on top of Superman, and what Fantastic Four. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I'm actually really excited about Fantastic Four and Superman. I know that not everyone's gonna be excited for Superman. Cough, cough, you.
Yeah, I don't really like Superman.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite.
Yeah. He's interesting. I think I'm hoping that will be good. That is my only hope for that. And I want movies to be good. Do them. Make movies because you love them. Because you want to make. You have a story that you want to tell. Don't make movies for the money. Like, because fans can tell that. People can tell if you just made it for the money, and they're not gonna be happy. But if you, even if it is something that is kind of a cash grab, if you still show that you want that you have a great love for whatever you're making, then the fans are actually going to be more interested to go see it. And that's so yeah. Anyways, that's probably a good spot for us to call it for the day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this nerd chat, and we will see you guys next time. But on.